So, yeah, ranking all Remembrance bosses in Elden Ring, including the DLC ones. I wanted to, give my opinion on it because it's been, like what, 1.5 weeks since the game released. I have played about 80 to 90 hours of DLC, only DLC. So yeah, I've played a lot of the DLC, and I also played a lot of the base game. I have Remembrance in the game. So yeah, I think after 280 hours on the record, so I think if I were now to go to rank all of these bosses, I think it would, be from someone that has definitely an idea of how this game is played. So starting at the bottom of the list, to me personally, it's very clear. This boss that I'm going to put at the last place of the game is just kind of annoying to deal with. Especially when you replay the game, this boss becomes less and less interesting and more annoying. And that has a lot to do with the fact that its hitbox is kind of annoying to deal with. It is also annoying the way that he moves or doesn't move. Flame attacks that he has are also just annoying because, when you play against this boss, he is basically on the ground for the entirety of its second phase, and whenever he wants you to get away, he will roll over you in a hitbox that is very hard to get, because if you want to make this boss easy, you'll get on horseback and fight one body part of it for the entirety of the fight. And his massive health pool does not serve him any good because it's large and it takes a long it's not difficult, it just takes a long time. And so that is why Fire Giant is, in my opinion, the worst Remembrance boss in the entire game. Following it up at place 24, this boss is a bit laggy right now because of its hitbox. It is a DLC boss, and in my opinion, it's the most throwaway boss that they could have done. I am not a fan in general of mounted bosses because yeah, most of the time it feels repetitive. You always have two sides. One is the one where the mounted guy attacks on, the other side is the one where the mount attacks you. It's always like they have one rush attack, they have a lot of combo attacks, and then they run away, and it's just annoying to deal with because you never know when you have an opening. And with this boss, to me personally, he just felt, I didn't feel anything towards him, except that could have been, and literally felt just like another tree sentinel version. He's a bit cooler than a tree sentinel, but not worth to be called the Remembrance boss. That being said, I'm talking about Commander Gaius, or Gaius, I don't know how you pronounce his name. And yeah, I'm just not a big fan of him. He has this one rush attack that pretty much feels undodgeable at times. Also, he has this huge flurry that at times I do not know how to deal with. And in general, I haven't played against him for a second time in my replay because he's one of those bosses that when I play against him and replay the game, he would be one of the bosses where I say, do I really want to replay that game if I have to fight this boss again? That's the type of boss he is, to me at least. Alright, number 23. So, me personally speaking, I don't feel any hate towards this boss. I just think that it's madly basic, madly easy, and sort of comes out of nowhere and fades away into obscurity as well. It's just, not a boss that I have felt particularly, oh shit, that's a cool boss. I just think, oh yeah, cool, he exists, but I don't mind him. I just think that every single other boss that is in front of him just has more character, feels cooler, and when I fight against them, I'm wowed by them at how they look, or every single boss that comes after this one has something where I say, holy shit, that's cool. One thing. And the only one in this list that does not have that to me is this Skadoo Tree Avatar. I don't know. I'll call it Skadoosh because technically calls that. I don't know. I just think that maybe he has some importance lore-wise. I don't know. But I just was not amazed by this boss at all, and I don't think that the fight was that awesome as well. So yeah, the stage is kind of cool, I'll give it that, but that's also with Fire Giant, that's also with Commander Gaius. The only thing that makes this boss better than these two is that I don't have anything particularly against it. I feel sort of neutral towards this boss. So yeah, we have a fight that I actually quite enjoy, and upwards from here, pretty much it's just a personal preference, I guess, because these next fights are all at least cool, in my opinion. They're nothing, you know, that I have any resentment towards. And this might be controversial. I don't know how people feel towards this boss, but on place 22 is 46. So the reason why I have 46 on 22 is, especially after playing the DLC, he just feels like a recall of every other dragon as well. He does not have any special thing towards him except from him being a recolor and a black dragon. But and you know, those the stage is pretty cool as well. And the quest line in general, you know, was surprising when you saw this boss for the first time and fought against him. The problem is that other than Bale, which, by the way, if Bale would be in a Remembrance boss, would drop a Remembrance, I know he drops Dragon Hearts, but if he would have dropped a Remembrance, he would have been up here. Just wanted to point that out because dragon bosses can in fact be very fucking cool. This one isn't as cool. I'm sorry, I do not feel anything towards this boss. There's another dragon boss in here that I think is very cool. This ain't it though. Bringing us to my 21st spot, which is the Ancestor Spirit. This fight is actually pretty cool because it's so pretty. You know, the Ancestor Spirit, when I saw it for the first time, I thought this is one of the most gorgeous bosses that I have seen. You know, and that's a problem, that's all. You know, the fight isn't that woeing difficult or anything, it's just there, and it goes down as probably one of the easiest fights in the game, in my opinion. After it's not that I forget about it. I don't forget about any of these bosses, especially these ones, because I don't like them. But this is one of the bosses where I say, if I encounter them, cool. But after I've encountered them, I'm not going to spend a single minute thinking about it again. It's forgettable in that sense. I remember it in my mind, but I wouldn't go back to it in particular to say, oh yeah, this boss in particular was cool. So yeah, this fight, in my opinion, cool. But every other fight in here I prefer and would definitely play more than this. So, top 20. We start off the top 20 with a boss that I initially wanted to put higher, but then I thought, nah, it doesn't really make sense. Where is she? Romina, the Sandbud. Alright, look. With Romina, the thing is that she's not that interesting lore-wise. There's nothing really going for her for backstory. But yeah, there's nothing really special about her backstory-wise. She just exists. And for her existence, she is very cool. I love the design for some reason. It's just, I don't know. I feel like these weird designs are kind of cool because, you know, we know that FromSoft are some sick, but we all love them for that. And Romina the Sandbud is one boss where I thought, oh, that's sick, and fought against her. Maybe I was one of the only people that had a little bit of struggle fighting her, but maybe I just had a bad day there. But yeah, she isn't that difficult. She really isn't. She's probably one of the easiest bosses in the DLC. So borderline cool, nothing much to it. I think for most people though, kind of a forgettable fight. Which brings me to number 19, a boss that I think has such a cool design that alone put him up to place 19, and that is Astel. So Astel as a boss fight, I think was amazing the first time you fought against him. Seeing this huge creature with, you know, these intergalactic balls and shit, was definitely amazing. And, you know, his design pretty much carries his spot in here, because other than that, his fight is not really that crazy. There are a couple of moves that I thought were cool. There's this one move that he has where he creates, I don't know, 6 clones, and all of them attack you, and if you get hit, you know, well, you died. But if not, you know, it's cool. That's a cool ass move. Then he has this meteor shit where he, you know, spams 1,000 meteors at you, and that's also a cool looking move. And you know, his ports and everything look cool. So overall, he's just a visually very pleasing fight. What did not help as much with this fight is the fact that we had to fight him twice, or not had to fight him twice, but there is another version of him in what was it again, in the ice area, the second one, the secret path to Halic way, you know, Halic tree, on the left somewhere. And there's a cave where you get to fight Astel again. And I don't know, I thought that was kind of cool fight. Definitely cooler than Remember the Saint, but especially because, you know, design is fucking phenomenal. I love the design on this one. But yeah, other bosses are just definitely way cooler. So this, I don't know if this is also a controversial take or not, but on place 18, I have Renala. The reason why I have Renala on place 18 is because her first phase is hella annoying. Slaughtering them kids, I guess, sure, but when you replay the game, it just becomes a hindrance. You just think, oh my god, let me attack you, fucking bitch. But yeah. And the second phase, to be completely fairly honest, the stage carries it. The fight is cool. The fight ain't what, you know, other bosses in here deliver, or you know, even her moveset ain't that amazing. She has them basic spells. She has the laser, she has the follow things, you know, where she sort of spawns these little crystals and they follow you, and she can summon things, and that's probably the most difficult part when you encounter her for the first time, knowing, oh shit, how do I counter these summons that she has. But really, you just have to keep attacking her instead of the summon, and you'll be good. So yeah, I don't really think difficulty wise she's that difficult. She's just annoying because of her first phase, because it's annoying that when a kid, for example, grabs you once, well, that's already one flask you had to use, and you kind of want to store these up for the second phase. Even if it's not that difficult, still a hit can be crucial, and slip ups happen. So yeah, it's just annoying, but also then again cool, because the second phase is pretty darn cool in my opinion. And being the second large boss that you, well, not counting in Margit, the second large Remembrance boss that people should fight against, I don't know. Oh yeah, and also the run back fucking sucks. Yeah, that's right, that was the other thing stuck in my head. But yeah, as the second boss in the game, she's cool as fuck, in my opinion. Oh, we go to place 17. We go back to the DLC bosses, and that goes to the Putrescent, I hope that's how you spell it, Putrescent Knight. Yeah, so design also fucking amazing. I love that skeleton-esque design. I think the weapon is cool as fuck. The only real difficulty about this boss is the timings and those flames that he throws at you when he goes into, you know, not second phase, but he has this little flame move that he hits as soon as he's like, what, 1/3 down. So yeah, Putrescent Knight, again, difficulty wise, not that difficult of a boss, in my opinion at least. The only real thing that I gripe about him is that he just spawns out of nowhere, even if the lead up is cool to him, you know, which is also a thing that is the first time that I'm talking about, you know. The lead up to the boss, you have this very cool area. You go down this spiral thing, and then you get to this huge dungeon-esque area. Not, you know, FromSoft dungeons, but, you know, just in general, this huge underground area, and then you all of a sudden have to jump down the stage to get to the boss, and that's pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie. The problem is that, you know, no cutscene, which is something that I genuinely think a cutscene to a boss, genuinely speaking, makes him a better boss, because that gives a little bit of you know, hype up moment, and you just don't have that with that boss. He just spawns in there, he runs, and you think, oh shit, well, he looks kind of dope, but that's it. And the reason why he's above Renala is because he doesn't have part of him that's particularly like, oh, wait, why do I have to do this? It's just, you know, a couple of delayed timing moves that you have to dodge it, and you're good to go. So yeah, that's why he's placed number 17. We'll get to a pretty controversial spot in a second, alright? So just hang on here with me. On place 16, we have Godric the Grafted. So, and just want to make it clear, from this point forward, I think every boss that we fight, fucking cool. Fucking cool. Like, going on from here, this is B+ tier to eventually S+ tier. Alright? And Godric, in my opinion, the only reason why he's on 16, alright, is because, I just think that, and this is literally the only reason, I think that every other boss on this list going forward is cooler. That's the only reason why Godric is on place 16 for me. Because I think that he has a lot going for him. He has this cool ass cutscene. His moveset is pretty cool. When he swings around his axe and has either the possibility of throwing like wind projectiles at you or coming at you, and you know, you get to dodge that shit. It's very cool, and in his second phase it looks even cooler. But genuinely speaking, I think every other boss has more things to say. Oh shit, wait, hold up, they cooking here, they cooking. So yeah, only reason why he's at 16. Not to say that he's a bad boss at all. I think fighting him feels super cool. But yeah, it's just a sense of, well, is he as cool as this boss, or is he as cool as that boss? Nah, not really. So yeah, he's a bit behind. It's gonna get controversial with the 15th place because I have Radahn on 15. What do you think of that? I think Radahn is not that great of a boss. I think he's kind of annoying to fight against, to be honest. In my opinion, and this is just me speaking, alright? Radahn, the DLC Radahn, the only reason why I think he's placed 15 is because difficulty is created in a manner that's just annoying. It's just annoying to see the FPS drops when he goes into a second phase. You know, Mikola pops out of fucking nowhere, and then you just have to fight against this boss that has so many attacks. All of a sudden, you need to be light or some shit to double roll shit, because after every single attack, he has these light projectiles going at you. It's just, I don't know. I do not think a lot of it, other than it's a cheesy and a cheap way to create difficulty in a fight that would have been so cool otherwise. Because his first phase, I give him that, he cool as fuck. It's just difficult. His second phase, hey man, that's bullshit. Hey man, that's kind of bullshit, man. I think his second phase is fucking bullshit. Maybe it's just me crying or not, and also I think, you know, it's the final boss in Elden Ring as a whole, you know. And it being a run back boss, Prime Radahn, like, he's cool. But final boss? Come on. You could have had, I would have loved, maybe it doesn't make sense lore-wise, but I would have loved to see Godwyn at least once. I wanted to see him at least once. We didn't get to see him at all. And it's going to be a mystery for the time being. Nobody knows anything about Godwyn except from the fact that he fucking died. And that's it. So yeah, in my opinion, he's a cool boss. He's definitely better than every single boss in here. But as a fight, as a whole, I don't really think that much about him. My opinion, man. My opinion. I just don't think he's that cool. Place 14 is, I don't know how to pronounce his name. Placidusax? Something like that? He a cool ass fucking dragon. Now, is he as good as fucking Bale? Hell fucking nah. But, for Remembrance Dragon, damn, that motherfucker was cool. Them laser shit that he has, the teleporting thunder attacks that look cool as fuck, the whole area that you have to get into to, you know, fight him, dude, that shit was fucking crazy. So yeah, Placidusax at number 14. So number 13 we have think it's mid tier. Should be. Hope so. So the whole story thing in Elden Ring that follows you from pretty much the very beginning of the game is the theme of fingers. If it's the messages, try finger butthole, or when you get to the round hole table, being introduced to the finger maidens or whatever the fuck, the theme of fingers is spread through the entirety of the game and the DLC as well. And when you get to the conclusion of it, the conclusion being fighting the Mother of Fingers, when I fought that boss, my jaw fucking dropped. To be completely honest, my jaw dropped. Yeah, so yeah, Mother of Fingers, cool boss fight, very cool stage. Probably one of my favorite stages in the DLC. My favorite stage has to go to the Radon stage because it's just that fucking beautiful. But other than that, hey, cool boss and everything. Kind of not a letdown, but I'm gonna have to say, I think that every single boss of here is cooler than Meteor. Meteor. I don't know how to pronounce it. So yeah, in my view, in my opinion, not a letdown boss, not at all. But also not that special to fight against. Really not. So yeah. Number 12 goes to a boss that I personally think would have been higher. Would have been a lot higher. I'm gonna just put him right here at number 12, talking about Morgott. The thing with Morgott that I personally just have to say ruined the boss to me personally is the fact that we fought him twice before. We fought him as Margit, and then we fought him shortly before you get to the capital. There's this random motherfucker that just turns into Margit all of a sudden, then you have to fight him again. Yeah, you don't have to, but as someone who played the game for the first time, they probably would. So yeah, when you fight Morgott there, it's just a little bit anticlimactic because it wasn't really a twist. It was just, oh well, fuck, I guess he's still alive, man. So yeah, in my opinion, he wasn't, I think, what they wanted him to be. Still, the boss fight though was fucking awesome. I love fighting Morgott, every instrumentation that there is of him, because he's just a fun boss to fight against. I still think that Margit is better than Morgott personally. I also think Margit is harder than Morgott. When you first start the game, you'll definitely think that Margit is more difficult than Morgott because you're early in the game, you need to, get a hand of it, especially if this is your first Souls game. I mean, holy shit. And overall, I'm just sad that the fact that they reused this boss for a second time, because before you got to him to the if they wouldn't have done this second time out of nowhere and just let us go to the capital and then meet him there, that would have been an oh shit, what the fuck, why is he still alive moment. And then as soon as the Tarnish gets to the capital and the place where you fight him, he would have said something like, oh yeah, that shit was my projection or some shit. That would have been a good plot twist. But I think most people saw it coming the time or the instance that you fought him for the second time. Yeah, so that's why he's number 12. I would have loved to have him in the top 10. Shortly not making it into the top 10 is a boss that I fought and he completely fucking woed me. That boss being the Dancing Lion Dragon. No, not the Dancing Lion Dragon, that don't make sense, but you know what I mean. The Dancing Lion boss. This boss, in my opinion, has to be one of the most fun bosses that I've played in a while. His moveset is super cool. Also, yeah, fuck, something that I haven't talked about at all so far. The music on this boss is insane. The soundtrack, I love it because it has these Chinese festival vibes. Just overall, when I fought this boss for the first time and I saw him, I was a little bit creeped out at him at first, but I got to love him more and more the more I played against him. So yeah, really just holy shit, what a boss. So fucking cool. And fun encounter. Only thing that keeps him from the top 10 is, story relevance and story in general. We don't know a single thing about the dancing lion. He was just, you know, there, had a cutscene, which made him better. But, you know, nothing that told us about, all right, where does he come from? Who even is behind the mask? Or, you know, it's two people. Who are these two people? What kind of being are they? And why are they able to coordinate this well? You know, shit like that. That would have enhanced this boss. But you know, it's still for it being what it is. It's still this high, and that speaks a lot on the quality of this boss and the fight in general. So yeah, only thing that calls this boss back, no backstory. Which brings us to our fucking top 10. And starting off with the top 10 spot is a boss that design-wise, not, you know, character design-wise, but boss design-wise, I don't think is fair or a great boss. But everything surrounding it, the stamp that this boss has left on my gaming career, and being the most unforgettable boss that I've played in any game ever. Let's introduce the Blade of Miquella altogether, Malenia, alright? Malenia is, in my opinion, the 10th best boss in this game. Getting to the Hallux Tree and not knowing what to expect was amazing. The boss stage, amazing. Getting somewhere down the line to the second phase for the first time, not knowing that there was a second phase, expecting it out of nowhere, but hoping to God that there wasn't, because the first phase already was so fucking difficult at first. And, you know, just in general, seeing everything come together as is in this boss fight, you know, as I've said, left a fucking stamp on me. I will never forget fighting Malenia in both a good way and a bad way. Bad way being, it's just a fucking unfair boss. I'm not even talking about waterfall dance, you know, that shit. I'm just talking about the fact, why does the boss heal off of everything? Also, I hate Scarlet Rot. I think it sucks as a mechanic in the game. And also in general, just, I don't know, it's the same problem that I have with Radahn, just not as much. Or not as literally fucking game breaking. My game crashed once when I tried to play Radahn because of the fucking particles in his second phase. But with Malenia, he does not have as much shenanigans as Radahn, which is why she's on top 10. Still a couple of gripes that I just have, because if these certain things would not be there, like the healing, like Scarlet Rot as effect as a whole, I fucking hate that shit. This would have been an amazing fucking boss. It would have been. Waterfall dance, you know, yeah, kind of a bullshit move, but when you literally just have to Google how to dodge waterfall dance, and you literally see like 1,000 ways to fucking dodge it. So yeah, and if Kaisenat can do it, you can too. So yeah, Malenia in my opinion, deserved top 10 spot for being who she is. She definitely deserves to be up there. Which brings me to the number 9 spot. We're getting closer. Getting closer and closer to the end. Number 9 goes to none other than Rykar. The best cinematic boss in the game, in my opinion. Cinematic being gimmick. So you had to have a certain weapon for him. The Serpent Hunter, I think it was called the Great Serpent Hunter. Had to have that weapon, and you know, it was a very cool encounter for the first phase, and became an amazing encounter in the second phase. With, you know, all of a sudden, this guy pops out of, what the fuck, the snake has a fucking face, and then fucking he pulls out a whole ass, big ass sword out of the fucking mouth of the snake, and you just think, what the hell is going on? The sound design, again, the music. I hope I talked about the music in Malenia, because the soundtrack there is also fucking amazing, but the music on Rykar, the aesthetic with Rykar, getting to Volcanomania, and all of a sudden you see this huge fucking snake, and it just says, God devouring snake serpent, or something like that. And you just think, what is this? What am I playing against at this point? So it's not humbling in the sense of difficult humbling. It's humbling in the sense of, you see this boss and you just think, what the fuck am I even playing here? Because when I played Rykar for the first time, I remember going, yeah, this might be the greatest game that I've ever played. Rykard was the boss where it sort of started to click with me, and and sort of appreciating what the fuck I'm even playing here, and knowing I'll never forget this. And I haven't. 2 years. I'm 2 years in, and I still haven't forgotten that. So yeah, it speaks a lot of volumes, I think. So yeah, Rykard definitely number 9, followed up by a new boss that absolutely blew me out of the fucking water, and made me sort of be like, oh my god, yeah, right, I'm playing a FromSoft game again. It's none other than Rulana. Boss humbled me in the difficulty sense, that's for sure. And it took a while, a fucking while, to get used to that holy ass fucking moveset. It's like 20 fucking moves, so many strings she can go to. You'll never know what she does. You'll never know when she's ending or not. You will have a time with this boss fight where it's just, well, I guess I'm doing this again, but you can't stop playing against her. You can be annoyed as fuck because you had her to one hit, and all of a sudden she does this combo where in the second phase, you know, where she has, I haven't even talked about the second phase. Second phase is fucking amazing. 2 swords, one is fire, one is magic, and all of a sudden she can use both of them, and in her combos that you thought were undodgeable, now all of a sudden they become even more undodgeable. And you just sit there like, how am I supposed to do that? But the moment that you start to get it, you start to dodge it, you start to say, oh, okay, so she does that, be more patient, get in a little bit fewer hits probably, but heavier hitting hits. The moment you realize how she works and understand how she works, and when you beat her, that has to be one of the greatest feelings this DLC can offer, and just the game in general. In general, every boss you fight, as soon as you beat him, you think, holy shit, yeah, I'm on top of the fucking world. But with Rulana, when you get to sort of get behind this crazy fucking moveset, that's when it sort of clicks with you that the DLC is a fucking 10 out of 10. At least with me. So, also the music is impeccable. The whole castle thing was cool as fuck. It's not that long of a castle, which genuinely speaking, I fucking appreciate. Because I'm not a fan of, I don't know, 20 UA fucking castles that are larger than fucking life. So, yeah, appreciated that. And, you know, she would have been probably even higher if it was for a cutscene, for example. For a cutscene or for anything, story-wise. She was just there again. But, for, you know, a boss without a cutscene, I think placing on number 8 is still pretty fucking amazing. So, yeah. Number 8 spot, one of, you know, also replaying the game 2 times over at this point. She becomes more fun every time I play against her. First time it was hard, difficult as fuck, didn't want to play against her. Second time it became fun. Third time it became sort of dancing with her. Because she basically is a sword dancer. And when you fight against her, you feel like, when you get it, you feel like you become a sword dancer quite yourself. So yeah. Amazing fight, amazing visuals, and amazing music and tone overall. I love this fight today. Top 7. On place 7, we have Mr. Beat the pedophile allegations, Mr. Moke. When you get to the area below the map for the first time, if your jaw ain't dropping, I don't know what the fuck your ass was smoking. I remember going to this elevator in this I don't even know where it was. It was somewhere in Limgrave, I think in a forest. And there's this bear with the map behind him. And then there's this little structure in which you have the elevator. And you think, oh yeah, alright, cool, maybe a dungeon or something. And then you sort of notice, wait, elevator ain't stopping. Wait, it still isn't stopping. And then you get to the place under the map. And when you get on the map, you sort of see a bunch of things. And one of these things is sort of this old Greek-esque structure in the horizon. And you look at that and you think, oh shit, wait, that looks cool. And then, 30, 40 hours later, you're in that fucking Greek structure and you're fighting this motherfucker. And the music, the lead up, the guy himself, the way he looks, the way he talks, fighting against him for the first time was nerve-wracking and overall just chilling, because it was nothing like the other bosses build-up wise. You did not know what to expect. You just went there and oh, him. But you never expected him to be the boss that he is, the Lord of fucking Blood. You could have guessed, yeah, he's somewhat blood related, but that he was this shit. That was, well, to me personally, when I played for the first time, fucking crazy. So yeah, a boss fight that I'll never forget. He's annoying in some points. His knee heel attack, I think everyone can relate to me when I say knee heel. I fucking hate you. But especially, his Remembrance, getting his weapon, fucking worth it of a fight. And you need to fight him for the DLC, and I'm glad that the DLC is where it is, because that was sort of a mystery back in the day when you beat him for the first time. You think, oh well, what the fuck is this cocoon here? But yeah, crazy boss, crazy fucking boss. Never forget him. Probably one of my favorite soundtracks in the whole fucking game. So yeah, mode, place 7, which brings us to the top 6 in this list. And on my 6th spot, I have actually, wait, let me drink some water first, because I'm getting pretty thirsty. I'm talking my ass off here. Hold up. On the 6th place, there's a motherfucker here that, personally speaking, before the DLC was on my top 4, now he's top 6, and that's Elden Beast, the end boss of the base game. And, well, let me just say this, okay? Elden Beast is, visually speaking, probably one of my, if not the favorite boss of me, for me at least, in the game. Fight-wise, I love Radagon. I think Elden Beast kind of is annoying. He feels a bit like a mounted boss. A little bit of rushdown attacks, a couple of projectile attacks even. But the thing that reminds me of a mounted boss here is the fact that he fucking runs away from you all the fucking time, and you need to fucking chase him down and never get a hit in. Except if you do fucking nuclear fucking damage. Then it doesn't matter that he runs away all the time, because with one hit you can fucking erase half of his fucking bar. But if you don't have a lot of damage, and he's also pretty stagger resistant, I think, should be. If you do not have the tools that make this boss fight easy, well, you're fucked, because you'll never get a hit in. Difficulty wise speaking, yeah, he's pretty difficult. I think Radagon, well, easier to learn, harder to understand and to actually beat. But yeah, Elden Beast is just fucking annoying. The second phase, not as annoying as this bitch right here or any of these motherfuckers right here. But yeah, just as a final boss, perfect. Fucking love them. Not my cup of tea. Not the thing that I would say, holy shit, that was the best boss fight and boss ever. He's not Ishin. That's what I'm getting at. He's not fucking Ishin. He ain't all that. But he cool as fuck, yo. He fucking cool. And we're at the top 5 already. Fuck. Damn, that was fast. This shit rushed by pretty quick, didn't it? Let's take this shit home, shall we? On my place 5, I have, and to be honest, these next couple of places can be interchanged. This is where I spent most time yesterday thinking, how do I do this shit? Because to me, all of these bosses right here, well, no, every single boss that is from here, I don't think Nainja is an S tier fight, but every single boss up here, I think is an S tier fight. And I think the most S tier, the least S plus tier of this one, for a reason that I'm going to explain in a second, this guy, Radahn, base game Radahn. Okay? So, the reason I'm putting, the game we are in now, why I am putting base game Radahn here is because think he could have been even better of a boss. There is this mod that most people of you have probably seen in Asmongold's stream, and I hope that you've seen it in Asmongold's stream. I'll probably just show it right here. It's just, you know, the video. You can, it's probably in the description somewhere. You can just click at it and go for it. But yeah, there is a mod that makes him even more of a fucking beast than he is. And if I wouldn't have seen this mod, not gonna lie, probably would have been up here. Probably. The fact that I've seen this mod, the fact that I've seen what he could have been, the fact that I now know that this motherfucker exists, sort of makes me like this guy even less. Still top 5. Holy shit, not to say anything bad again. He's fucking top 5 boss in the fucking game. Out of 25 main, in you know, quotation marks, main bosses. But the fact that I've seen what his prime can do, the fact that I've seen what the mod can do, man, this motherfucker just pales in comparison. He also I probably would have put him a little bit higher if it would have been pre-nerf. Personally, I don't think nerfing bosses is something that you should do, except for this motherfucker. Delete the fucking light moves and he will be a better boss in general. But for him personally, I never thought, oh, why are we doing this now? Oh, I don't like it. No, never. I think they shouldn't have nerfed him. And I think with Radahn as a whole, could have done more. Little bit of a letdown, this character, to me personally. Still top 5 though, so do not fucking complain. So, top 4. Who is on the 4th spot? On the 4th spot, this is a motherfucker. The first time I saw him, my balls dropped, and what else dropped was my love for every single other boss in the game, because I just loved him so much the first time I saw him. Malekith the Black Blade. What a design, man. What a design. What a fucking lead up. Farum Azula, not my favorite region in the game. Not at all. Think it's kind of, navigating wise, a little bit difficult sometimes to really make your way through everything and knowing, oh fuck, am I going the right way or not? What the fuck am I even doing here? You know, having to beat fucking Godskin Duel, which, by the way, if it would have been a tier list where I rank every single boss type in the game, they would have been fucking down here. I hate fucking double bosses. I think they're the worst archetype in the fucking game, because I think I made a tweet as well when I fought Neil Knight Letta. But yeah, I think I made a tweet where I said something like double bosses ruin games. Same with Sekiro. The least favorite boss of the general consent is the Double Guardian A boss, and deserved. It's a cheap way to create difficulty, and I don't like that in my bosses. Back to Malekith though, he's fucking amazing. He's an amazing fucking boss. Visually, insane. Going into it for the first time, not knowing that there's a second phase, and then all of a sudden he just pulls up this fucking little crack sword that he has, sums it in his fucking hand, and all of a sudden pulls out this big ass fucking epic looking blade with these red effects and everything. Holy fucking shit. That is a well-designed effect boss that has an effect procced on it that can be annoying to deal with, but in general speaking, still is kind of fair. Get hit too much, and you get the Destined Death effect, which is, I think it shortens your health bar, and also for like 3 seconds, you get a little bit of damage over time. I think that's it. And if you get hit a little bit too much, you won't be able to pop up a flask. If you don't have patience, then you won't be able to hit off a flask, and you'll fucking die because of either his attacks or Destined Death. So it's pretty balanced. Be patient, play good, play nice, and you will be rewarded. Because the second phase does not have, you know, the payoff for him doing a lot of damage and everything is that his health pool isn't that large. So yeah, I think it's a very fairly designed boss. I think the fight is amazing. It feels amazing. I love doing it again on my, what now, 4th, 5th playthrough of the base game. So Malekith deserved top 4 space if it wouldn't have been for these other 3 bosses that I personally just prefer. On place 3 is my original favorite boss in the game, Hoarelu Godfrey First Elden Lord.
So when I fought him for the first time in 2022, this was the thing with him. He was difficult, very difficult at first, because I did not see, oh wait, what are his patterns and everything. But the moment it clicked with me was the moment that I realized, holy shit, fighting this guy is literally a rhythm. Ground stomp, either one of these two things. Big axe attack, short axe combo. And the fact that always just, he mixed it up, and you just had to look where his hand comes from, and just look at his hand for the whole fucking fight, and for the first phase at least. That shit was fucking amazing to me as a player, to feel it, to have this rhythm. And then his second phase hits in, and you think, oh nah, he doesn't have this anymore, but he still does. It's just more delayed, and he all of a sudden becomes fucking Undertaker or some shit, and fucking ground slams you, fucking ground pounds you, fucking does a whole ass fucking tombstone pile driver on your ass, and fucking one shots you probably most of the fucking time. But yeah, it's amazing to me that they sort of managed to, in two styles, do the same boss, which would be Horaloo and then Godfrey, and both of them are fucking amazing. And the cutscene as well, both cutscenes, always saying cutscenes enhance the boss fight. Cutscenes here, fucking amazing. The cutscene where he goes into his second phase and kills this fucking lion. Oh my god, that had to be one of the most what the fuck and also coolest things that I've ever seen in a fucking boss fight. Make me so excited to play against him. And also just look at him. He's a fucking Giga Chad. So overall, fight, amazing. Stage, fucking amazing. You see the Earth Tree behind him and everything, and the throne. What the fuck? What else do you want? Music. Oh my god, man. That choir, give him a fucking raise. Pay him 1 million times 10 million. I don't care. So good. So fucking good. The overall aesthetic of the boss in general is probably still one of my favorite in the entire game. And he has this fun factor with him that I don't think any other main boss has, from the base game at least. Because, if you learn him very well for one time, you'll be able to get him other times. And maybe that doesn't make him the most difficult boss, but that certainly makes him one of the most rewarding and fun bosses to play against in this game. And I think that plays a huge factor into when you especially want to replay the game. Having a boss like that in your catalog helps out with people that want to replay the game over and over again. Overall, I pretty much, to me personally, maybe even slept on boss. So absolutely fucking love this guy. Which brings me to the top 2. And look, okay, maybe it's because of recency bias, something like that. Top 2, for me personally, Mesmer the Impaler. Now, top 2 spots for me personally, in all senses, in all genres. When I have a top 2, most of the time it's undisputable. It's always, yeah, this is clearly my number 1 and this is clearly my number 2. In this instance, to be completely fairly fucking honest with you, I cannot fucking decide. Because Mesmer the Impaler is, design-wise, is effect-wise, his particle effects, animation-wise, and music-wise and everything, he's just pure perfection. Pure fucking perfection. He feels like Melania without the fucking bullshit and actual difficulty, which is created to actual difficult to dodge moves, not through hitbox issues, but through actual thought through fucking movements, where you have to really be watching him, how to dodge, how to move, where to act, where not to act, And you know, his mix-ups is, yeah, sometimes pretty difficult to grasp, but still possible. Other not as his counterpart Melania. No offense to her, she's still a top 10 boss. And yeah, he is just what Melania could have been to me, and that makes him my top 2 spot. Talking about the top 1 spot now, in you know, Midra, Lord of Frenzied Flame, is visually speaking, my favorite fucking boss. I fucking love him visually. It's not special, you know. He's just a little skeleton guy with a fucking flame on his fucking head. But and this is why I've brought up the topic of cutscenes for as much as I did. I think his cutscene is the best in the fucking game. I don't know why. I don't know why. But the cutscene where he has this sword in his head and he pulls out the sword along with his head, I don't know why I love it so much. I do not know. But it's the most disturbing but also coolest thing I've ever seen. And I fucking love it. I fucking love it. And so emotionally speaking, he is my favorite boss in the entirety of Elden Ring. Oh yeah, and probably this is the point why I personally think he's better than Mesmer, is his lead up. So what you have to do is you need to get to these catacombs that are located right below the whole ass Mesmer castle and everything. So you need to get down, then down again to where you also find Great Katana at the boss. Go down again, and then you go to the right, to the side of Grace. And if you go down these little fucking tombstones, you'll get to this little sea where in the distance you'll see a golden hippo. And if you go into his direction and slowly turn to the right while you're at it, you'll see more tombstones which lead you down even further down. And then if you walk a little bit straight forward and look to your left, you'll see a cave. And if you go into that cave, you know, you do that cave, go down, blah, blah, you'll get to the abyss. It's literally called the abyss. And this area is straight up horror. Straight up, it's horror. And to me personally, when I went to this area, I was fucking scared. Torrent was fucking scared. You couldn't fucking have your horse in that area because your horse was fucking scared. And then you have to do this to get to Midra. You have to get past these I don't even know what they are. I don't know what the fuck they are. But they're they used to be human, I think. And they're captured by the madness of the frenzied flame or some shit, and you need to walk past them. You can't kill them, and your heart is just fucking pumping while you're at it because you know you can't fight them, and if they grab you once, you're fucking dead. And so yeah, that stealth action was already fucking awesome. And then you approach this little castle like thing, and then there are like 10 corpses without heads, like right there, just next to each other, and you look at them and think, what the fuck? Then you enter the fucking castle, and you just hear this guy screaming that you need to go away and everything, and tension starts to build up. You get to the castle, you do the castle puzzles, then you get to his room, and you just see this fucking guy with a fucking sword in his head, and you think, what the fuck is this motherfucker doing here? What the fuck? So you kill him, and then all of a sudden, cutscene. And he rips off his fucking head, and then you see this big ass fucking flame out of nowhere, and the music starts to go like fucking ominous. And the whole build up, the whole aesthetic of this boss made me fall in love with the DLC and the boss in general for so much more. It's crazy. Like, if it wouldn't be for this boss, the DLC probably wouldn't even be a 10. Because most of the time, if I don't like one thing in the game, it's not a 10 anymore. That one thing would have been Radahn. The thing is, I love Midra so much that he outweighs my hate for Radahn. And so that's probably why I put him at 1, and Mesmer at 2. Mesmer, again, probably the coolest boss that I've ever fought against. Midra, as a boss though, holy fucking shit, has a little dagger, stabs you with it. His moveset is pretty, not gonna lie, not that difficult to learn. There's just one attack where he goes into the air and then he lands at you, and you know it's a little bit difficult because you need to run in the space a little bit. You know, it's not that big of a space to walk in, so you know you have to outrun that shit and everything. But other than that, his attacks are pretty easily dodgeable. The effects are fucking great, and everything about that boss, music, looks, aesthetic, patterns, it's just a blast. It's just a fucking blast. The lead up, amazing, best lead up in this fucking game to a boss in my opinion. And so yeah, I'll never forget it. And yeah, that's been my list, my final Elden Ring Remembrance boss ranked list. That, by the way, you can use. It's in the description. It's for everyone. It's public. Everyone can make their list. I would love to see your lists. I'll make a Twitter post where everyone can post it. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. A lot of talking, a lot of fucking talking. But it's just, you know, who I am. So if you like that, if you want to see more of this, then, you know, just subscribe, follow the channel, whatever. And yeah, I hope you had fun with this video. See you in the next one.